Andrew, please come into my office so we can conduct your quarterly performance review, please.
Okay.
Well, first, Andrew, I'd like to start with you. Before we go over your review, do you have any questions for me, or is there anything you want to talk about in terms of the job?
Not really. Everything seems to be going fine at this point.
Okay. Well, Andrew, as you know, I do like to conduct performance reviews on a regular basis to gauge where my employees are at specific points. I want to see how each individual employee is performing in accordance with the standards set forth by the company. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Well, good. And as you should be quite familiar with these, because you have been with us for nearly a year and a half now, and what I look at when evaluating employees is very much centered on behavior and attitude. Does this person represent the organization in a professional manner? Do they carry themselves well and appropriately? Do they get along with the rest of the team? And pretty much overall, are they good, solid, dependable associates that work well with others and live up to the expectations that we're going to set in these performance reviews? And you've had several of these already.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Now, it should come as no surprise to you, Andrew, that there have been a couple of issues which have been previously documented and that you have been addressed on these matters by your immediate supervisor. Is this correct?
Yeah, I was put on a 2-month probationary period.
Okay. Are you currently still on this probation?
I think so, maybe. I don't really remember.
Okay. Well, you are aware that when you were addressed about the incident that took place, which warranted this 2 months of probation, you were also informed that any future incidences that occurred during the probation period would yield even stricter punishment and possibly termination depending upon the severity of the offense. Is that correct?
My supervisor sort of mentioned something like that.
Okay. Well, it was brought to my attention that there have been recent offenses occurring. I have heard that you're continually showing up late for work. Have you got any reason for these tardy appearances or any notes from your supervisor granting you permission to show up late for work?
Well, no, most of them were because of my car. I live 25 minutes away from work. It's been having problems lately. I can't really predict the traffic time or the weather that's going to happen, so...
Right, but you are aware that you're not allowed to show up late without permission granted you by your immediate supervisor or me, the general manager, correct?
I guess so, yeah.
Okay. Also, I do have in my notes something your supervisor said about your disposition while on the work floor. If you want to read here, it says, quote, displays a uniquely melancholy persona and frequently avoids approaching customers. Well, Andrew, you do know that your supervisors are constantly monitoring your attitude and the way you carry yourself on the work floor, right? We are a team that is dedicated to customer service here, and we are expected to help our customers in any way to find the products they are looking for when they arrive here. Now, I didn't see you directly, but I have to go by what my supervisory staff is reporting here, and it sounds like you have a behavior issue. Do you have any explanation for this type of demeanor?
I don't know. I'm tired a lot. I'm not trying to avoid anyone. It's just that I don't like annoying them. Going up to them in the store when they obviously don't want my help just seems like it's intrusive.
It might seem intrusive, but we have conducted plenty of surveys that have shown customers prefer assistance by our staff rather than our staff ignoring them and letting them fend for themselves when they're in the store. You know, I do need a better effort out of you, and what it sounds like, this behavior issue has been a common theme since you started working here.
Oh, I wouldn't say I have a behavior problem. I mean, I get along with the other employees, so it can't be that.
But we've also had, problems with your attendance, which unfortunately is a big deal here. Last month you had 3 no-call no-shows according to my records, and that's a number I expect from employees who don't care about their jobs. And you had 3 within 1 month. You realize that this issue is what earned you the probation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, at this point, Andrew, we have discussed the expectations of this organization and what we want to see out of every employee on the work floor. Looking back at last quarter's review, you received a below average overall for all the categories related to customer service, which is your department. Frankly, I'm a little disappointed personally that we have not seen a change out of your behavior, especially after you spent this much time on the probation, knowing the consequences of future incidents. I feel that we've given you plenty of chances and opportunities to turn your behavior around, and you've continued to not produce the results we expect. And since you're already on this probation, I have no choice but to terminate your employment with us today. Now, please understand that this is not a personal slight at you, but this company needs people who better represent the ideals and meet the expectations laid out in the employment contract, which you personally signed on the day of your employment. Andrew, I'm going to ask you to please gather your things and clock out after you leave my office, and good luck to you in the future choices you make.